Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing Noob.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Fanboys, be advised, this video contains the absolute truth, may cause hurt feelings, and the need to thumbs down the video. Look, let's just dig right into it. Deontay Wilder's best win was a tune-up fighter. And look, we're going to be honest and unbiased. A lot of fanboys are going to be in their feelings about this. A lot of them aren't going to want to accept the truth. Some guys won't even watch the video. They'll thumbs down and leave a dumb comment being uneducated. And so what we're going to do is give them all the facts, and that's going to make them look even dumber when they try to argue these points. And we're not going to involve feelings. We're only going to involve the facts. And we start, with the comment from Kappa 310, and he says, Luis Ortiz a tune-up. You must be smoking. Just because he lost to Wilder doesn't mean he's a bum. He's definitely in the top 5 fighters in the heavyweight division. Now, I never call Luis Ortiz a bum. I think he has good quality skills, but at the end of the day, at this level, at the elite level, he is a tune-up fighter. And let's just be honest and unbiased. And look, let's just break it down. What is kind of a tune-up fighter? What we're looking at, the same people that are calling Danny Garcia a tune-up fighter at the welterweight division for Errol Spence are saying Luis Ortiz is a top-level fighter. What's the difference? When you look at Luis Ortiz, he's never been a world champion, never accomplished anything but losing to Deontay Wilder. On the other hand, Danny Garcia, he's a multiple-time world champion in 2 weight classes. And he was also the Ring Magazine and lineal light welterweight champion. So at the end of the day, Danny Garcia is a proven guy who has, a decorated former champion. And Luis Ortiz has never done anything in the sport of boxing at the top level besides get knocked out. I mean, let's just be honest and unbiased. And even when Danny Garcia lost to guys like Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, guys who were or are champions, at the end of the day, he didn't get knocked out. Luis Ortiz got knocked out cold. Let's just be honest and unbiased. There's a huge difference. So if you're calling Danny Garcia a tune-up, but not Luis Ortiz, you need to reevaluate the facts. Let's just be honest and unbiased. And then, look, we're going to break it down. What is Luis Ortiz's best win of his whole career? It's Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings is basically, a name. That's it. He's a name, but he's not a big name. He's not an elite name, and he's done nothing in the sport. He's never been a world champion himself. He's lost 4 times in his career. He's been knocked out twice. And he's lost to guys like Oscar Rivas and Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce has 9 fights and who's unproven at the elite level, and that's who Bryant Jennings lost to. He also got knocked out by Oscar Rivas, a guy who Dillian White beat. Let's be honest and unbiased. Dillian White is at the top 5 of the heavyweight division. Oscar Rivas is not. Oscar Rivas is a dangerous opponent, a good opponent. He's a better name than Bryant Jennings. So Luis Ortiz has no good names on his resume that he's beaten. He has no top names. His resume is paper thin, and let's just be real about it. And look, what's another reason that Luis Ortiz is a tune-up? His age. He's too old. This guy is not a prime fighter when Deontay Wilder fought him. Luis Ortiz was supposedly 38 years old for the first fight and was about 40 for the rematch. But we all know in sports, Cubans aren't honest about their ages. Boxing Insider Rick Glacier, I asked him personally, hey, what's Luis Ortiz's real age? And he estimated about 51. Regardless of how old Luis Ortiz really is, we know he was too old to be competing at the elite level, never having been an elite fighter. And, I've gotten a lot of fanboys who had a problem with me saying this and basically saying, well, AJ and Fury, they beat Klitschko. Klitschko was older. Well, when you look at Vladimir Klitschko, you see that Vladimir Klitschko, was a Hall of Famer, all-time great, unified champion. And so even if he's 40 years old fighting, at the end of the day, his past accomplishments show what elite fighter he was. He's always been an elite fighter. He dominated the heavyweight division for a decade. At the end of the day, Vladimir Klitschko is an absolute problem. He's accomplished things that Luis Ortiz has never dreamed of. So, Luis Ortiz has never competed at the elite level, and that's all Vladimir Klitschko has done. So you can't even compare the two. It shows you how much of a casual these fanboys truly are. And let's just keep it going. And, another reason why Luis Ortiz was a tune-up for Deontay Wilder, simply because, Luis Ortiz was on high blood pressure medication. You don't see elite top athletes on these type of medication. That's part of the heart disease family. This guy has heart disease, and he's sitting up here fighting Deontay Wilder, and people are giving him full credit like he doesn't have an ailment. These type of ailments hold you back from being able to be a peak performance athlete. We have to be real about it. These guys are just ignoring these Facts. And we also see that, Luis Ortiz trainer himself basically stated that, Luis Ortiz was put into the ICU because his blood pressure was entirely too high. His blood pressure was over 200 over something. This is coming from his own trainer. Luis Ortiz was at this point, being on these medications, not being at a peak physical athlete and condition. That's a tune-up fighter, because he's never going to be able to compete at his best. Let's just be real about it. And, also being and having high blood pressure, Luis Ortiz was prone to stamina issues, gassing out. He even said himself, Wilder didn't knock me out, I was exhausted. And Deontay Wilder, he did get the knockout, but that was contributed to the fact that Luis Ortiz was exhausted. Luis Ortiz, put up great fights in both fights, winning multiple rounds. But the only time that he ever got in trouble or in danger is when he obviously got tired. He was gassing out. This guy has high blood pressure. Luis Ortiz, poor stamina. And, you got to look at it. Blood pressure patients aren't well-conditioned athletes. Deontay Wilder didn't figure out Luis Ortiz. He didn't use an IQ or anything like that. He simply waited until Luis Ortiz gassed out and caught him. It's simple. Wilder went life and death with the tune-up in the first fight and lost every round in the second. Every time someone put the smackdown on Deontay Wilder, he's turned into some kind of fanboy legend. Let's just be real about this. And look, let me just break it down. And these are facts, not feelings. I like Luis Ortiz. He has skills. He has a good skill set. But at his age, his resume, his health issues, and his stamina makes him a tune-up. That's not hate. Those are facts. But once again, unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.